Hey, this is Steve Peranto here. Most pickleball teaching pros will tell you that the hardest shot to teach beginners, intermediate players, is teaching them how to hit that third shot dink successfully. Well, it's really not that hard if you do these 4 things. So all of the elements that I teach beginners how to be successful at hitting these third shot dinks, we're getting rid of variables. Number 1, you need to let the ball fall onto your paddle. It is not rising, it's falling. And we're getting rid of a big variable by letting the ball fall onto my paddle. And the reason is, if we're hitting a ball as it's rising sometimes instead of falling, well, now I have to make a split-second decision what angle my paddle face should be. If it's falling onto my paddle, I always can have my paddle open. I'm getting rid of a big variable, and that is the angle that the ball is hitting my paddle. Other variables that we get rid of by hitting the ball as it's falling are, we're taking out a lot of the speed of the ball, our opponent's speed. When it's falling, it is slowed down, so we're getting rid of that variable. The other variable, sometimes today's day, the good players are returning with backspin and the ball is spinning a lot. If you let the ball fall, you're taking some of that spin out of play. So again, we're getting rid of variables. Another important element when you're hitting your third shot dink is to make sure your body is very still and balanced. Again, we're getting rid of variables. If my body is still, we don't add the variable of how fast is my body going when I hit the ball. Another element is to make sure that your head is close to this paddle head when you hit your dink. And the reason for that is you are much more likely to hit the ball in your sweet spot, the center of your paddle, by getting your head close to this paddle, and of course you're trying to watch the ball hit your paddle. Rather than hitting a dink shot with your head a long ways from the paddle, you're more likely then to scatter your dinks because you're not hitting the center of your sweet spot. And the last element that you must have to have a high percentage of successful third shot dinks is a nice arching ball. You're hitting the ball actually much higher than you think. And the farther back you are on your court, the higher your arch is going to be. But the arch isn't at the net. The apex of that arch is well back, somewhere around the no volley zone. You're probably hitting the ball 7 feet in the air. Closing up this lesson, remember the 4 elements that Steve Peranto teaches and a lot of the pros teach. First off, let that ball fall when you're hitting your third shot dink. Second, make sure your body is nice and still and balanced. Third, make sure your head is close to this paddle head so we can hit the sweet spot. And last of all, make sure we have a nice arch to the ball. It's actually going to arch higher than you think, but the arch is going to be well back from the net. Now, in the future, we may do another video like the pros, how they hit their third shots. Now, they can deal with more variables than the rest of us that are just learning how to hit this third shot. So maybe we'll do one next time about how to add spin to our third shot and how to hit the ball on the rise. See you next time.